Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel, and we got a good one today. It's been a long time since I've got to talk to this man. He's back in the spotlight. Headline bare knuckle. He's Daniel Straus, the former two-time Bellator world champion. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Doing good. How are you?
I'm great. I thank you for the time. I know it's busy. It's fight week. The bare knuckle debut. Are there any nerves for you or anything jumping over to bare knuckle to the new sport, the new arena?
Not really. I mean, as far as that comes, not really nervous as far as competing in bare knuckle. There's always nerves when you're gonna fight, or compete. But outside of that, I'm in coming in, pretty confident, excited, happy to be fighting.
Was it a big decision from you to change sports to go from the MMA to give bare knuckle a try?
I wouldn't say it was a big decision. It was a well thought out decision. I didn't give it. I kind of contacted some coaches that I've worked with, see what they thought about it, and then talked with a little bit of family, see what they thought about it, and I've got nothing but you know blessings. I would have did it either way, but you know, it's something that it's a rough sport. It's kind of brutal. So, you know, coming out from having multiple injuries, hands injuries, neck injuries, um, I was didn't want to come into something and get more banged up, but I think if I approach it the right way and train the right way, fight the right way, it can work out in my favor.
You mentioned it. You've been through some injuries. I believe there was a motorcycle accident, even. Uh, what does it mean? We've seen you have to, through your social media, learn how to walk again at a point to be back as a functional athlete. What does that mean to you?
It just shows my heart. You know what I mean? It shows who I am as a person. You know what I mean? I never let nothing get me down. I never let nothing stop me from what I want to do. You tell me I can't, I will. You know what I mean? I say I won't, I'll do it. You know what I mean? And just fighting from adversity. It's just been the story of my life. So another roadblock won't stop me.
During that time, during your recovery, was there ever a question to you if you wanted to return to fighting?
It wasn't a question of if I wanted to. I knew fighting is what I want to do. You know what I mean? It's just plain and simple my life. It's plain and simple my profession. It's what I do. You know what I mean? So it wasn't if I wanted to. It was more or less if it was going to happen, and that also wasn't something I was really putting in the back of my head. It was fight to the fight is done, and just going to battle back and get it done.
You get back, you get a couple more fights in MMA. You had moved up to lightweight post recovery. Did it feel different being back in the cage, the body, the going up to lightweight?
It was kind of a decision that at the time my management, my coaches have made. Um, let's try this before we jump back into it. And yeah, it worked out for me. You know what I mean? I got to go back. I fought at lightweight before early in my career, but yeah, it was just something strategic. You know what I mean? Something not as far as strategic as fighting goes, but for my body. You know what I mean? Let's be realistic. You know what I mean? Let's see what the body can handle. Let's see what the body can do. Let's push it to a certain point and see how it reacts. So I think fighting at lightweight was, just a test to see, where I was at and what I can do.
And where do you feel like you're at as an athlete right now? Do you even think about the recovery, the injury, or do you just feel like the same old Daniel again?
Um, I'll never be the same old Daniel as far as, walking around, no injuries and young and all that. Time definitely, uh, it, it does a number on your body. But as an athlete, I am the same Daniel. You know what I mean? I'll always be that person. Back, healthy. I'm back mentally healthy, physically healthy, uh, and in the gym and working as hard as I can work and pushing myself over and over and over, and that's always been who I've been.
You signed with Bare Knuckle FC. What was the process of starting to get your bare knuckle game together? Were you already kind of training bare knuckle before you made the signing with the company official, or was this something that you picked up on after signing with them?
I was working a little. I wasn't like in the grind as I am now. It wasn't a specific like, you know, hey, work to be a bare knuckle fighter, but there was always work being done. There was always real work being done. There was always combat work being done. So uh, I had been working. I got to sign with them, and then I got a contract, and then we turned it on.
So what's the structure of the camp look like for bare knuckle? More like, did you fully get away from wrestling, jujitsu, sparring with kicking? Like, what's the structure of the camp look like now for bare knuckle?
It's a boxing fight, so that's what I'm working on. I'm not really doing any wrestling and any grappling as far as groundwork. Um, but I work towards what the competition is. You know what I mean? There is a little bit of grappling and um, underhook work to work on, positioning to work on, head movement, stuff like that, and then just the tightening up the boxing aspect of it. I can. Everyone knows I can throw. Everyone knows I can punch. That's part of MMA. But getting the right footwork down. Not getting away from tendencies that I've had for so long for MMA. Throwing knees or elbows or kicks like that. So yeah, you have to condition yourself to step away from that side and condition your body and your mind for something else.
On that part, the muscle memory part, how hard has that been to not want to shoot a takedown at a point, not dump a guy on the ground, not knee all of a sudden, where those kind of things have been built in for so many years?
It hasn't been hard at all, actually. I'll be honest with you. I've only had one incident, what I mean? I've only had one, but it's not hard at all, you know what I mean? Because my focus is somewhere else. My focus is on this sport of bare knuckle, you know what I mean? Uh, but like I said, yeah, I've only had one time where I was in sparring and that leg got to start to come up, you know what I mean? I just had to had to, oh shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's no that muscle memory, it will always be there because that is what I've grown up and what I've known to be doing for so long. But as a fighter, you have to learn new things, you have to try new things, and then you have to work towards those things. So even though the muscle memory, it's always in the back of my head, I have learned to put new things in front of it.
Does this feel like a new journey doing something new. You did MMA for so long. Does bare knuckle feel like a different experience right now? This is something different.
It does. It does. And like I said, I'm proud and happy to be here. I have a new opportunity to showcase of who I am as a fighter, showcase who I am as a person, and it can open plenty of doors for me, many doors for me, and it's just I'm grateful. You know what I mean?
And quite the debut. BKFC 38. You're in the headliner and you're taking on Dat Nguyen, a former BKFC champion. So you're looking at this. What do you think of this opportunity?
Um, I don't know. I don't really have a great answer for that, to be honest with you. What I look at the opportunity is just another fight for me. You know what I mean? And what it leads to, I don't know yet. You know what I mean? Um, the structure of their fighting, the structure of what they got going on, it's foreign. It's brand new to me. So I treat it like I treat anything else, and like I treated Bellator and MMA. I'm coming in as the lowest ranked guy. I'm coming in as that new guy, and I'm gonna fight my way to the top.
I don't know if you've given any mind to it. It's going to be a little bit different of an arena. I think they're doing it outdoors, at a tennis court arena. It's a different kind of venue. Have you given any thought to those aspects of the
No,
fight?
not at all. You know, the fight is the fight. Um, no matter if it's indoor, outdoor. I've fought outdoor plenty of times before. I won't say plenty of times, but I've had a handful of fights outside. So that doesn't really bother me. I, you know, I fought for I fought in Bellator's tournament outside in Yuma a long time ago. And yeah, it's been some time since I've had an arena like that. But as far as the fight comes, it's the fight. You know, that's what you're doing. So that's what I'm focused on, and that'll be, what I have to work on.
How deep, how much studying have you got into Dat Nguyen and what you expect him to bring at you? I know it's going to be a lot of fist flying, but
Um, I've done the appropriate amount of studying. I don't get wrapped up in what my opponent does. You obviously have to look at traits that he has. You can prepare for a fight the right way. But I'm not sitting here engulfed on, what he does all day long or who he fought and how that fight goes. But yeah, I've seen him fight. Yes, I've watched a few of his fights. Um, yes, I've picked up certain things that he does. And likewise, I'm sure he's done the same. But that's part of being a professional in this sport. Um,
many other MMA fighters we've now seen crossover: John Dodson, Diego Sanchez. You're now getting Eddie Alvarez, Luke Rockhold. The guys that have already competed, though, have you went and observed and watched some of those fights to see how other MMA fighters crossing over have kind of attacked bare knuckle?
I haven't per se as far as watched how they've treated the sport or how they came into the sport because again, we're all different fighters. We all have a different way of fighting. And just because they did MMA, doesn't mean that each fight is different. You know what I mean? Each fight is going to be different. So we're all walking into a new sport and having to adapt to this new sport. You know what I mean? So how we fight, how we train is going to be slightly different, but we're who we are as fighters. I'm a big fan of all of those guys you mentioned, and you know, I, I'm not pulling up how they are training to see how they're training for the sport. You know, what I mean, I'm watching them as fighters because I enjoyed watching them as fighters. And whether it's a MMA guy or a former boxing guy or whatever it is, you know, I enjoy the sport of fighting. So I watch them for that. I don't really watch them for, how they're critiquing the sport or how they um, rolling into this to put their touch into it. You know, I didn't watch wrestlers when I first came to MMA to see how did they start, fighting. You know what I mean? I just watched the people that I was fans of, and their fighting stuff. And how did they and how they fought. So um, I think we'll all pick it up equally just as well as anybody else, when boxers come here, yes, it's boxing, but it's not the same thing as boxing, or traditional boxing per se. So we all have our little things that we watch and pick up, but I don't think we are watching each other from our old sport or our past sport, thinking, okay, I need to see how he's transitioned or anything.
BKFC 38. Daniel Straus is in the main event. You can watch it on BKFC.TV. Daniel, what makes the difference in this fight? What gets your hand raised at the end of it?
Being smart, fighting smart. Um, I know it's a brutal sport, and and fighting hard, fighting with my heart out. You know what I mean? It's not something that I can. You we're gonna throw bombs, believe that. We're gonna throw bombs, but again, like I said, it's about being smart.
It's awesome getting to talk to you, man. It's been a while. We got to do this much sooner again the next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.